Alrighty, y'all. So obviously, you guys knew this one was coming. I have to do it, right? Obviously, the freaking Aegis team, right? We got Mask, Anchor, favorite item helm, not full favorite item, but we do have the support favorite item helm on the team right here, right? We're going to be using all three of them and seeing how crazy it is with Scarlet. I'm excited. I'm excited for this one. Let's get into it. Let's see how it's gonna go. Actually, if you guys don't know what they do, obviously I can just quickly briefly remind you guys. Distribute damage buffs, reload speed buff, permanent crit rate, and attack buff basically. Actually, yeah, no. With Anchor, Mask is permanently giving crit rate and attack. She is permanently giving that with Anchor because she's always in the drunken state and she's never coming out of the drunken state because she never gets stunned. So permanent crit rate, permanent attack buff from Mask when paired up with Anchor, right? And then obviously with all that being affected, you're getting distributed damage, reload speed buff, you are getting an attack buff, attack damage buff, and crit damage buff when using her burst skill. And then when it comes to Anchor, you're getting some heals, you're getting distributed damage buff, you're getting some hit rate, you're getting attack buff, you are getting some reload speed buff as well. And then again, if you use your burst skill, you are getting another attack buff. And then obviously when it comes to Helm, anytime you enter a full burst, attack damage buff, and then obviously crit rate with normal attacks, and then crazy burst generation, right? So let's take a look and see what this team is doing. I expect it to be crazy. Obviously, Masked and Anchor with Scarlet is no joke. We don't have scope lock on this time, but we do have the like the Nikke version of Masked and Anchor, so we do have them 10-10-10. Because don't get me wrong, right? Masked and Anchor are great, but they're supporters. Right? They're supporters. Mask is not even meant to do damage, so it's not like I have to show you guys a Mask that has like the same level as the other two. She's doing no damage, right? We just only care. Mask and Anchor are literally characters, well, maybe more Mask than Anchor, but Mask specifically is a character that you only need her skills leveled up. Everything else doesn't matter for her because she doesn't do damage, right? But let's take a look and see what this is looking like right here. Obviously, first we're at how much? 13 million from Scarlet. Let's take a look and see what that goes up to. 13 million to what? 13 million to what, Scarlet? 13 million to what, Scarlet? 13 million to 368 million is quite the jump, right? And mind you, every burst rotation, and we're not even fully buffed there, right? When we get to that third burst skill, so the next burst rotation, then we're gonna be fully stacked. And then we're gonna see such crazy numbers from these characters, right? Right, but when you get to that third burst skill, then that's when everything starts to pop off, because then you're permanently stacked up for Mask and Anchor, right? Meaning you're getting their full capabilities, and that's buffing up Scarlet permanently, so that's great too, right? So right now, 483 million with Helm on the team. What is that going up to? Mind you, Helm does give buffs to like crit rate buff to normal attack, but 400 and whatever million, I don't even remember what the number was, to 938 million. It's basically a 500 million damage buff. It is quite crazy. Like, I'm sorry, but she's crazy. Like, Scarlet is crazy. She does too much damage, and it's just not fair. She does too much damage, and my thing is, it's so unfortunate, because if these characters buffed up freaking Cinderella, the way they buff up Scarlet, it would be over, because Cinderella does way more than Scarlet. Like, she does way more than Scarlet. I'm sorry, but she does. So it's like, what are we talking about? If they do, I don't know why they did this though. Honestly, first off, Anchor and Mask are both water characters, right? Obviously, there's nothing in this game. Well, there is a lot in this game, element type advantages, stuff like that, right? But not only are they both Elysium, but they're both water. So I don't understand why they would make a character cater to Scarlet Black Shadow. And it's as clear as day, that's what they were trying to do. Because what other character in this game, DPS wise, has distributed damage that you're using? Like, I can't even think of one. I know there is another character in the game with this distributed damage. I just don't know who it is. I forgot. I feel like I'm thinking of Eleg, but it's not that she has distributed damage, I don't believe. I think it's just that she what's it called? It's that she like gives that buff, right? But 2.1 billion? Dang, Scarlet. This is the real Scarlet. You know, remember when people used like chat? You guys remember when people used to be like OG Scarlet, OG Scarlet? I haven't heard a person say OG Scarlet since Scarlet Black Shadow came out, and that's what brings like tears to my eyes, because it's like, what did they call me? Scarletless Zxous? Scarlet and Zxous, how do you guys switch up on OG Scarlet? I have yet to hear somebody talk about OG Scarlet. You guys all switched up on OG Scarlet. Every single one of you guys, because she's been fall off. Like, let's keep it a G. With all the new characters, all the new damage dealers in 2024, who is still using OG Scarlet unless it's PvP? Right? What are you using OG Scarlet for in 2025? Like, maybe Solar Raid, maybe. If you don't got all the other best DPSs in the game. How many DPSs are in this game now? There's too many. There's just too many that you don't even need that OG Scarlet anymore. There's way too many DPSs now. We don't even care about OG Scarlet. But if you want to use her out of, you know, pittiness, then, or, you know, you feel bad or whatever, somebody logged in and I couldn't even see the final number. Bomba clat dog. All right, y'all, so obviously I had to run it back because we didn't get to see the final score. But yeah, obviously with, you know, Helm, Anchor, Mask, this is probably not a team I would run. Like, I don't think it's, I mean, unless it's full favorite item Helm, right? If I'm running full favorite item Helm, sure. Which is including her burst skill by all means, because then she's powerful as hell, right? But if it's like this where I only have the first two phases, like the skill 1 and skill 2, but no burst skill, I really don't see any point of running a team like this. But yeah, are they good? Like, sure, let's take a look at the final number now. We're at 4.1 billion, and then obviously 3.4 billion. 3.4 billion is like, oh my god, Scarlet! But look, she does all, that's the only thing with this team, right? The only thing with this team, if they make another good, powerful DPS, genuinely, either at that point you might as well make them win, right? But if they make another very, very, very good, powerful DPS, and then make them that they have distributed damage and their win, you might as well just run Scarlet and them, and then made an anchor, and then made an anchor, masked an anchor, and then lit her, right? Because this right here, like, don't get me wrong, Scarlet doing 3.4 billion is great, but I don't like it how it looks. Masked and Anchor are not doing damage on your team. They're not. So that's 2 characters out of 5 that are not helping you with damage, right? In terms of the actual DPS. They're helping you in terms of support, but they're not helping you with DPS, right? And because both of them are burst 2, you have to bring up burst 1. Unless you're running Red Hood Rappy, no other burst 1 is doing damage for real. Right? Besides maybe Dorothy and then favorite item Exia, right? Those are the only 2 characters that are burst 1s off the top of my head that are actually doing damage, right? Besides obviously Red Hood Rappy, right? And then that burst 3 slot, again, you have to really pick a good DPS there, right? Because again, when it comes to wind, besides I guess Mana now to an extent, there's no real other good DPS there, right? And then the thing is, by running Mana, you're not going to be able to get a full Scarlet support because Mana is buffing up Anchor because she's also Rock Launch, right? So it's like, I guess you put Alice there and just have the, you know, Scarlet, Alice, then Masked, and Anchor comp. You can do that. I think that's probably the best way to go about it. But yeah, is this a team I would run? Unless I had full favorite item Helm. But it is a very good team still. Right now, just to kind of wrap it up, how do I feel about Masked and Anchor, right? I do also have to record the video comparing like Masked and Anchor versus Crown and Naga versus Blanc and Noir versus Tia and Naga versus these well, not Crown and Naga, but like Elysion's duel, Tetra's duel, Missile's duel, like a video on not all 3 of them in terms of damage and stuff like that, but what's the best duel out of those 3 duels, right? I do want to record that, but as of right now, I do like Masked, I do like Anchor. I think these 2 together is a very, very, very like good team, a very unique combo. I think they gel very well together. The only thing that I don't really like about the team is, again, that it seems like they're really just buffing up Scarlet. Like, again, they have a lot of buffs towards every character in the game, and I will have a video on that, like them with just other DPSs that are not Scarlet, but obviously you're getting their full capability only when you're using them with Scarlet, which is fine, because then it's like, okay, now a Scarlet team is going to just have Masked and Anchor on it. And then Crown and Naga can go to another team, probably with like, I wouldn't even say Crown and Naga can go to another team with like freaking Rouge and Cinderella, and then because my team for Cinderella is Maiden, Rouge, and Cinderella, and then the last 2 I'll figure it out myself, right? When I'm trying to put a team but like not have Crown on it, because Solar Red you need to have different teams, and you can't like reuse the characters, right? If you guys know how Solar Red works, so it's kind of hard, right? Building a team, it's not hard building a team, but it is when you're trying to like, you know, make sure every team is actually taken care of well. But my whole point is, when it comes to Master and Anchor, very good supporters. You definitely want to use the two together. I think they work very well together. I think they are good in general. I just think they're better when you're running them with Scarlet, where you're getting the full capabilities, right? But like I said, I am going to have a video tomorrow about Mast and Anchor for Elysion versus Blanc and Noir for Tetra versus Tia and Naga for Missilus, to see what the best duel is overall, where we're not using Scarlet because I don't feel like that's fair. We're just going to be using regular DPSs, right? But then again, it's kind of unfair to like kind of take away Mast and Anchor from using their full capability, but that's their own fault. That's not nobody else's fault. But you guys let me know what you think. You guys rock with it? Do you not? Your boy Zxous, I'm out. Peace.